Hello everyone, I am here this week to talk about Journey. Journey is an indie game released by a game company ironically called That Game Company. It was initially released for the PlayStation 3 in 2012 and was remastered in 1080p for PlayStation 4 in 2015. In terms of gameplay, Journey is very straightforward. You run with the left analog stick, as with most games. The X button governs jumping and gliding, while the circle button allows you to emit musical notes, which activates certain objects in the game and captures pieces of cloth for you to lengthen your scarf. This scarf, in turn, will expand on your ability to travel through the world. The longer it is, or the more cloth you collect, the higher and farther you may jump and glide. Last of all, the game has a multiplayer feature unlike any other, which allows for other players in the game to seamlessly connect with you, becoming present in your own playthrough. The twist is, they have no username or tag, and can in no way interact with you apart from musical notes you can each give off. They provide zero technical advantage. Journey's story is simplistic and beautiful. The goal of the game is the most simple part of it. You begin as a nameless, genderless, formless cloth creature in the middle of a huge sea of sand, and after standing on top of a dune and looking out into the distance, you see a mountain with a shining peak. This is the goal. The rest of the game sees you, as this bizarre creature, traversing the desert in order to make it to the peak of this mountain in the distance. Put simply, the story is fantastic. The desert you're in gives you no restriction as to where you may go, only showing indicators as to where you should go. The first section of the game demonstrates this, serving as a simple tutorial where you follow around small pieces of cloth which lead you to different sites of ruins that reveal those simple mechanics that you must use to interact with the story. The second chapter of the game is in a closed-in and sparse desert area, where you must again find more cloths, clues and indicators as to where to go next. For the most part, this section is lonely and solemn, with little help or direction aside from the cloth markers and the floating pieces of cloth which lead you around. The section finishes when you build a bridge of cloth to get to the end of this next set of ruins. The third section of the game is entirely unlike the last two, employing the mechanics of the desert sand to add another layer of traversal, sliding. This chapter is wholly fun, an experience which you can't help enjoying as you run through the desert and the ruins ahead, all the whilst accompanied by a music score that is positive in itself. The positive feeling is, however, destroyed as you come across the ruins at the end, which are accompanied by foreboding sounds and a darker light. This section afterward resumes with positive tones, as you utilise the new mode of sliding to slide in and out of desert ruins, but ends abruptly, as you fall from the ruins you had been sliding. This level has a vertical flow in its traversal as you attempt to rise from the darkness, and is followed by a level in a circular chamber in which the only way to go is up. The dark, sombre levels, however, do not stop here, with the second last level presenting the cloth creature with a steep climb up the mountain, faced by cold, gale-force winds which destroy your scarf and make it harder for you to progress. Eventually, this level makes the player succumb, the cloth creature falling in exhaustion. A cutscene begins showing us a number of tall, white cloth creatures who appear throughout cutscenes in the game at the end of each level and essentially seem holy and magical. They appear to revive your creature, sending you from the place you had fallen into the air as a racing, glowing star, happily hurtling towards the peak of the mountain. A final cutscene shows another cloth creature, standing at the starting point of the journey and gazing at the star as it approaches the shining mountain peak. Though simple and uncomplicated, Journey is a magnificent game. The mechanics themselves are not in-depth, however they fit perfectly with the story. Unlike other games whose mechanics do not logically matter toward the main goals of the story, each and every mechanic of Journey is integral to the story. The effect of this is to make the player feel as if they are truly inside the story themselves, as everything in the game, though simple, is directly controlled and progressed by the player. On top of this, the game utilises seamless connection with other players to encourage you in dark places and to share the experiences of the light places in the game. If you hadn't already noticed, this game's story is a clear and concise metaphor for life, including all the ups and downs that we meet throughout our life, as well as the people we meet to share our experiences with. And as I've stated already, this metaphor is put across clearly by the interactions with other players and the interactions you have with the world around you. Thank you.